Okay, who's on the top? BB. This is Erik. Take care, baby.
Erik Weihenmayer is a mountain climber. He is one of the youngest ever to scale all 7 summits, the world's most challenging and difficult peaks. McKinley, Kilimanjaro, Aconcagua, Vinson Massif, Everest, Elbrus, Kosciuszko. Erik Weihenmayer is a world-class athlete. He has cycled the length of Vietnam, runs marathons, skis, skydives, and paraglides. He is not a daredevil. He takes calculated risks, approaches each new challenge methodically. He knows there will be failures, but he also knows it is possible to touch the top of the world. Erik Weihenmayer is blind.
I got this newsletter in Braille from a group taking blind kids rock climbing for the first time. Now, I grew up in Connecticut. It's as flat as a pancake. And I remember taking my hand and running it up the wall of my room and thinking, that sounds insane. How would you ever get your body to stick to the side of a rock face? I mean, what a joke. So I signed up. And I didn't know whether I could rock climb or not. But I knew I could use my hands as my eyes, and I found that I could do a pull-up, and I could scan my hand across the face in a systematic way. And right before I was ready to lose strength in my forearms and fingers, I'd find just enough, a little crack or pocket or something to dig my fingers into to keep me stuck to the face a little longer so I could do another pull-up and another scan across the face. And I left a lot of blood and a lot of skin on the face that first time, but I got to the top, and I realized, I'd never catch a baseball. I'd never do a layup down a basketball court again. Those things were in the past. But in front of me were lifetimes and lifetimes of opportunity. And it was standing on the top of this rock face with the sun in my face and the texture of the rocks under my hands and the sound of openness all around me that my life was reborn.
Born with a rare eye disease that left him completely blind by age 13, Erik embraces some of life's greatest challenges. He is a teacher, a coach, and a celebrated author. His book, Touch the Top of the World, describes the triumph of his vision over the challenges of blindness. A gifted motivational speaker, Erik delivers his story of determination and courage to audiences all over the world.
But I have to say, it bugs me that the world, I think, sometimes writes things off as impossible a little too quickly, when maybe we haven't found a way to reach out and find those systems, to reach beyond convention, to utilize our resources. I think there's such a blurry line between the things that we cannot do and the things that we can. And the most exciting aspects of our lives is when we're able to become a pioneer and blast through those lines. When we're able to blast through those barriers that are conceived so often in our brains. When we're able to blast through those preconceptions of the way things are supposed to be done. When we're able to launch ourselves into a new environment of adventure. That's exciting. That's what being a pioneer is about. And everyone in this room is a pioneer. You're on the brink of some revolutionary changes in your field. You're on the front line. You're learning as you're going. You're always looking for new opportunities, new niches, new ways of teaming up with people. You're sometimes faced with dilemmas and decisions where you don't even know where to turn, where to start. You're flopping on your face. You're stumbling before you find your footing. But despite that uncertainty, you look forward. You don't look backwards, even though looking forward so often means looking into darkness. I think each time we figure out a way to live our lives a little closer to the way we envision them, we become pioneers. We shatter the mold.
Through the experience of his blindness, Erik teaches audiences to see the success that is possible in their lives. Erik's story of determination and unflinching courage has been featured in major national publications and on television.
We have the latest now in a story we've been following. The attempt by a blind man to climb Mount Everest.
NBC News in depth tonight, heading for the top of the world against the odds and with astonishing resourcefulness and focus and bravery.
And Erik, how does the mechanics of climbing, how does that differ for you, if at all?
Well, I have different systems which I've developed over the years. They aren't really revolutionary, but they work. I have 2 long trekking poles that I'll use to kind of feel my way through the ice or the snow, and a teammate will hike in front of me with a bell, a bear bell, and they'll kind of jingle it to the right, jingle it to the left, tell me about terrain changes and crevasses to step over and all the different things that I need to negotiate on the mountain.
He made it to the top, following the sounds of bells tied to the jackets of his fellow climbers. 32-year-old Erik Weihenmayer also followed their voices and tracks they carved in the ice and snow.
And I've always seen myself as a pioneer. So about 5 years ago, I thought I had the skills and the talents to climb Mount Everest. A lot of people laughed, but I had enough people who believed in me. And I was really scared, not at failure itself, because I had learned to deal with failure long ago, but I was afraid of the world's perceptions if I failed. If I came home with my tail between my legs, the sighted world would say, well, of course he didn't summit. What did you expect? But I've learned something, and it's a great thing to exceed people's expectations. But from time to time, people's expectations will turn into boundaries. And the best thing to do is to take those expectations and throw them in the garbage and rise to the level of our own potential. And I figured if my potential fell short of the summit, then so be it. That was a far more honest path than being talked out of something before I started.
Erik Weihenmayer's inspirational and optimistic message motivates audiences all over the world. More positive feedback than any speaker we've ever had. Lucent Technologies delivers an indelible personal message to everyone. Computer Associates. Tremendous. Everyone rated Erik's presentation a 5 out of 5. Johnson & Johnson. Phenomenal. University of North Carolina Business School.
A lot of people say that they summit mountains for the view, for the beautiful view, but I just think, I may be biased, but I think it's hogwash. I think it's just such a lie. You don't suffer for 20 days or a month to see a pretty view. A lot of times you're just looking into a sea of clouds anyway. I think a summit isn't even a place on a mountain at all. A summit to me is a symbol. It's a symbol that with the force of our minds and our bodies and our souls, and with the power of these 2 small hands, that we can transform our lives into something miraculous. And when we join our hands to those around us, we can do even better than transforming our own lives. We can transform the very face of the earth. One of my heroes, Helen Keller, she said, I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And I will not refuse to do the something I can do. And as you go about your lives and careers as visionaries, as leaders, as alchemists, as pioneers, do not refuse to do the something that you know you can do. And do not ever forget the vast power that exists in each of our 2 small hands.
For more information on Erik Weihenmayer's inspirational Touch the Top of the World presentations, contact Leading Authorities Incorporated.